Bryan Mudd, a fan of South Plains politics. Here's your talking points for this week. Would it surprise you to learn that Texas lawmakers use your tax dollars in ways they're not supposed to? Well, maybe not, but there's a way you can stop that practice, at least in one case. And the votes are in. The city council affirms the city manager's choice for a new Lubbock police chief. You'll hear about why he was so interested in the job.
From the studios of KMAC Television in Lubbock, your local election headquarters. This is Talking Points with Bryan Mudd.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Also this week, words matter. You know, one of my sons actually taught a lesson about that to the kids in his church last week. Referenced Proverbs chapter 12. The words of the reckless pierce like swords. There was something about just hearing the words in that secret recording of the meeting with House Speaker Dennis Bonnen, Lubbock Representative Dustin Burrows, and conservative activist Michael Quinn Sullivan that just seemed to make it worse and real for a lot of us. An offer that shouldn't have been made, words against folks in his own party, words against people working in local governments. It seemed to make a difference for House Republicans. With the insistence of Lubbock Representative John Frullo and Amarillo's Ford Price with this statement, tipped the scales enough this week to push Speaker Bonnen to announce that not only would he not run for Speaker again, he would also not run for re-election to the State House. Bonnen's county district attorney said this week that no criminal charges would be filed in the case, but there'll still be repercussions in next year's elections and in the next legislative session in 2021. Our Phil Prazen takes us through what all this means.
The Speaker of the House is the most powerful person in the state you don't directly vote for. The person is chosen from the 150 House members each legislative session, so the Speaker needs support from 76 members to get elected, and Speaker Bonnen simply lost support from too many Republicans to make the numbers work.
For the rest of the population, it might be something that would be easy to kind of forget as the days, weeks, and months would go by. But when you only have a small group of people who are in charge of your future and you have badmouthed them, lied about them, talked behind their back, and been proven to be completely duplicitous, they're not going to forget that.
Since early October, one by one, Republican representatives called on him to step down. The tipping point came Monday when 5 key members of the Speaker's own leadership team announced they no longer supported him.
Once you forget that your constituency is that 149 voters, those dogs will eat you alive.
Bonnen's decision not to run could leave a vacuum for Republican power at a time Democrats are only 9 seats away from taking over the Texas House. Big money donors usually give to people in power. Bonnen might not be able to mobilize campaign funds to successfully fend off Democratic advances. And the $3 million he has already raised could be tainted.
And now the money is maybe kind of in a lockbox. No one's sure if they either want to take it, if he'd be willing to spend it.
The House Democratic Caucus put out a statement saying Bonnen made the right decision, and they'll continue to work to lead Texas to a better tomorrow.
It's Phil Prazen reporting. If you didn't hear the recording made by Sullivan, you can hear Bonnen offering press access to Sullivan's group in exchange for campaign work against 10 Republicans. Bonnen also joked about a House member being a closeted gay man, called a woman vile, and took swipes at leaders from big cities and counties in the state. Mr. Burrows was part of that meeting. He released a statement about Bonnen's decision this week, saying in part, his leadership is responsible for great achievements for taxpayers, public education, and he's been a great ally for Texas Tech and West Texas. I'm proud to call him my friend. All right, and let's welcome in Lubbock County Precinct 1 Commissioner Bill McKay. Talk more about all this stuff. All right, so some derogatory comments from Bonnen and Burrows about local government leadership and saying that they hope the next legislative session is even worse for cities and counties. Look, for someone who does that, what do you think of when you hear all that stuff?
Well, you know, traditionally counties and state work great together. We work in partnership. I mean, of the 6,000 or 7,000 bills that get filed, a third of those directly affect counties, which directly affect us. And so in the past, we've always worked in partnership. And so that was a surprise. But I mean, that's kind of overshadowing what really happened this session, which is incredible. That all of the state reps and state senators in West Texas worked hard to get the Texas Tech Vet School, the dental school in El Paso, and then something that affects our pocketbooks, school districts are lowering their tax rate. And so those are very positive things. And as far as politics in the Capitol, I've always worked hard to leave politics in the parking lot. You know, just leave all that outside and get in the courthouse and go to work and do the work that's there.
And you decided, though, not to return to the Commissioner's Court. We'll come to it earlier on. You know, you mentioned that your political career, though, might not be over. Is Boroughs District 83 job something you're thinking about?
You know, a number of folks have approached me about that, and really before all this kind of blew up, to something to look at and think about. And Karen and I, we'll think through that. Yeah, I'm honored for folks to even bring that to my attention and ask me to consider it. So right now, we got a new budget passed, and so getting those things in place. So we still have a lot of work to do at the county. Sure. Kicking off this new fiscal year. So we'll just think through that and look at different options. I've had some really interesting options back in the private sector that sound fun. So we'll just take it one day at a time.
Good to have options like that. But you said one of the reasons it was time for you to step away from the Commissioner's Court was that you had accomplished a lot of the goals that you had set out there, including getting some of the road construction projects off the ground. Word this week that those projects have sort of now been officially announced and ready to grow. That's got to feel good.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, it's either I'm a slow worker or it was very hard. I'm not sure which, but to get Woodrow Road and some of these other major roads, to get them to the level they need to be to carry the traffic, I mean, that's the function of county government, is public safety, and that goes into public roads, county roads. And so we're working. We've already got engineering going on Woodrow Road, and to get that road the kind of boulevard that it needs to be to carry the traffic. And what's critical is that many of the drivers are teenagers driving to high school, and so we were all teenagers once, and not the best drivers, but so to get a road that can handle that kind of traffic. That's exciting. And so,
yeah. You know, we checked in on the progress of the Expo Center this week as well, and I understand that some land has been bought now, and now there's some private fundraising going on. What's your thoughts on how that project's moving forward, and what will the county's role continue to be as we start getting toward the point where we're turning dirt here?
Yeah, I'm a pretty patient person, but I am.
You might have to be with this.
We're so anxious to move forward, and it's not something like, oh, let's just go do it, kind of a thing. I mean, the infrastructure on paper, how the relationships are, and the county's role, and what our role is to get all the documents in place, that's the critical part. And so we're getting close to getting some of these documents in place, and it just takes a lot of work on everyone's part. So we're getting step by step, we're getting closer and closer. We plan on a work session, I think November 14th, and hopefully some of these documents and some of these things can begin getting in place so we can continue moving forward. But we'll hear in Commissioner's Court Monday the revenue that has come in over the past 3 months, and I think it's exceeding a lot of folks' expectations. Good. And so I'm very optimistic and excited that we're moving in the right direction.
Knock on wood, he's going to finish up strong in the Commissioner's Court, and who knows after that. Come back and tell us when you make a decision.
We will do that.
Bill McKay, good to see you again.
Well, good to see you. Thanks.
And let's do this week's poll question. Do you believe the House Democrats are treating the president fairly in the impeachment inquiry? Talk to us on our KMAC News Facebook page and on everythinglubbock.com. Click on Talking Points. Give us your opinion on that.